Hello, this is Tianyu Deng from thesis course to present my final thesis presentation, Smart Tips. So first, I want to talk about the problems which I'm started doing the project. Before I start doing the project, I'm thinking about I should develop applications which I was the member, I was belong to the targeting group. So I'm started thinking what's the big issues about all those international students me right now. So I start to interview 20 of the international students who are studying in the Northeastern. So basically, I got some three ideas which I define three main problems that international students face right now. First is the studying abroad is more tough, harder than it thought to be. For international students, before they come to the US, they know they will study in an unfamiliar environmental. That's totally unfamiliar circumstance around them. So some problems they may face, but thanks for the advanced technology, they got some informations before they come to the US, but they may be got the information in wrong directions. For instance, in China, we cannot use the Facebook, Google, or some other foreign search engine or foreign search social media applications because government policy. So when I got some useful informations, maybe it will be pushed off or maybe delays for several years. So this there become a great problem for international students to gather informations before they come to the US. So the second, I think the international students want to share useful information with each other through a platform. Especially for right now, the social media become a great place to allow them to exchange or sharing experience. But there's no specific way for international students to find each others, especially when they before they come to the U.S. They have problems without to find each other. So the shared information is a hard way to dealing with it. Is if you use Facebook, you can make some friends, but you cannot find them directly. So you have to make sure you find the right targeting group. For me, I usually before I came to the US, I prepared to find like a QQ, a Chinese version of the Facebook. So I use them to find a whole bunch of people who has already there. I have to add them to become friend. I have to wait for them give me the response to add me to be their friend. So I think there are some problems are the timing problems, especially for the timing issues to delay the experience exchange or the information exchange with the international students. And some useful experience and information cannot be well connected to the international students. That's especially for the people, for the international students who willing to sharing their experience or tips. They have to find like the blog. They have to leave their tips on the Facebook, waiting for their right people to find it. They cannot. There's no platform right now or no such a great space for them to give their advice to their new common classmates or new common friends. So I started thinking, so I maybe should set up applications which to fully up the needs about international students to sharing or exchange the useful informations or give the exclusive tips for each others. So it becomes my project conceptual ideas, smart tips. So what are smart tips? Smart tips is a social guiding application to compare with the existing social service or social networking applications or service applications such as Facebook, Yep, Twitter things. I'm focusing on the social network development and information exchange. It means especially for the guiding the international students who will come to the US to study here or to live here. So the social network is stand for a small part, but the guiding information or the information exchange stand for the large amount for my conceptual ideas. So who will be the targeting group users? From my original ideas, every international student who are coming to the US or who has already studied in the US could be my current users or potential users. I remember I took the class entrepreneurship. My professor when we're running a project is to develop new applications. I ask the first advice he gave us is to remember you have to narrow down your targeting group users because right now, like such a great pie for this for every marketers, so they probably want to target every people to become their potential users. But narrow down your users is a good way to find your target group people specifically and easy to find them. So I would say I targeting for the every international students in the who will come to study in the US. And where I don't want to develop the website because I already doing a research find a series of website doing the similar services like I did, but they only stand the point of view of like people who has already in American or who are Americans. I could say this word for like all of this website are focused on offer the valuable information to the international students standpoint of view, they are teachers, they're professors, they're workers. So they offer the general information to the students, like, oh, you need to know about your visa, you need to know your legal status, you need to everything, you need to well prepare for your study, you to upset the challengers. All these things they're talking about for the general things, but now based on their real experience. So I want my applications stand the point of view of the students side. So the students have based on their personal experience or better based on their real experience to explain or to exchange all the tips to each others. So I don't want to develop a website. I want to have a while talking of the exchange immediately. So I want to say the application is a great way. So I probably put on my application on the iOS system and Android system. So how could the smart tips works? Smart tips include the four clearly functions, are the four directions. It's the general legal, living, and culture. And all the tips except the living tips sections, students cannot exchange their useful informations, and the rest of the three directions, students could sharing or exchange their informations here to allow or to share about the problems they face in the United States or the challenges they have to accept to better living in the US. Product. Um, for the mission I set up for the smart tips is created for helping international students to better adapt into living in the US and have a great quality life in the US. So how to better serve these missions, I think help international students. Right now, a lot when I doing the research and doing the interviews, I figure out one problem is interesting is um, the culture shock is then the less and less the influences power to effect on the students' life in the US. Thanks for the advanced technology, students don't feel alone or don't feel uncomfortable in the US. The percentage is become less and less. So, but they have to face some really critical issues in the US in their spare life, like how to dealing with applying the bank account, how to apply the OPT, how to better find places to live, what things they need to preparing to defend the cold weather. Everything is the critical or the realism problems they have to face. So I think smart tips could better help them to solve these problems by offering exclusive tips to sharing with them. So that could be the mission I set up or I force the smart tips to help the international students to achieve. For the vision, right now, smart tips. I developed these applications only based on the United States. It means the students, international students who are coming to the US could use the smart tips. If you're traveling to other countries, a not be help you right now. Traveling to study other countries, it may not help you right now. But I would say there's a great version of the smart tips because right now I stand the international student who will come to the US. So I belongs to this target group people. But I would say a lot of Americans could be my targeting users too. This is my future version. Like, I will offering the service worldwide, no matter which country you will study abroad, because I know, for the college or even some high school offering like the summer campus or their study abroad program for the Americans. So it means you will travel to study in an unfamiliar country one day. So my application could help you at that time. So this is a great version. So, but right now I'm just stand for offering offering my services to serving for the international students who are coming to the US. For the press, I would say this kind of like this my applications has two way. One is to business, one is to customers. For to customers, it's totally free membership, so you don't need to pay for anything. You just register, become the membership. But there's a tricky things I want to say is I want to make sure every targeting users I serve are international students. So I have to figure out how could I deal with these problems. So I think using the school email and the school ID to register become the membership could be perfect to solve these problems, to solve the concerns for myself. So it means if you register become the membership, you use your school ID. No matter you are high school, undergrad students, graduate student, you use your school email or use your school ID, you could register become my membership. And for business part, especially this part is for the living tips, because I allow to cooperate with some local business, to sharing them, like the house owner, the apartment owner, or the property owners, to give them a chance to put their personal information here, but I just charging them from their like advertisement fee. So I leaving space for give them put on their advertisement on my platform. I don't want my platform become a tree platform, so there's no way to them to make a business here. So to just share informations. I offer informations for they offer the contact information for the students, and the students can contact them in under the platform. So not in my platform to making the deal. For the place I just talking about is so worldwidely. It's my great version to fit my great version, but right now it's only focused on the US. The promotions, there's two ways. One is the officially social media account. Definitely, I want to set up the Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, because all of this allow the small businesses to doing the advertisements on their platform. So I think these are great ways to send out my request to find my targeting group users, because a lot of college or our schools have their own official website here, so I can through those official website on those media platform to find my targeting users. And I would say another great way to doing the promotion is to cooperate with some student associations in the college or in the high school, in those schools, because such as Northeastern has the Chinese student associations, Indian student associations. A lot of school has the international students associations. I try to combine cooperate with them to let them know, oh, I offering the services, so you can allow me to gather some student experience from your associations, to you can send me to push me, to push all the students to using my applications. So I think this is a great way I can gather informations, and they can sharing their information through my platform to give their newcomers, to the student to join their associations through this partnership. So basically, this is the product introducing. For the targeting audience and the marketing size, I doing the research and found online the specific number by 2016. Right now, how many international students study in the U.S., no matter the degree level, is more than 1 million, and the number will grow to the 7 million in 2025. That's a great numbers, and you can see a lot of the percentage rank order, which I found online is the China, India, Saudi Arabia, and South Korea stand the top four. And I would say I want targeting 50% become my marketing set, from now to the future. This number I get from the actually basically I calculated from the top four, because for you could say the rest of the international countries come from other countries. The international students is lower than low is than a lower percentage of the pie. So I want to say the top four countries international students become my potential users or current users. They could be my targeting group. So I think that another reason is the rest of the countries or rest of international students from different countries stand a lower percent of pie is they may have a small amount of the number and they are familiar with the United States life, especially for the Canada, Taiwan, maybe Japan, Mexico, all they have a quite familiar, similar living habits or living experience with all the international about the with the United States, so they quite adjust to the life here. But they still can use my app. I don't want quit anyone to not use my app. And the key players already in the exist market, I will grab this grade in the three ways. First is the social media app and the service app. Social media apps just include like the Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Waymo, and the service app I define like the Google doing the Google Plus and the Yap. Um, but my app, just I mentioned in the first part, is quite different to compete with the existing competitors. Is there's no one such offering my services. Like Facebook has to allow the international student build a community to share things, but they didn't have clearly each sections. And the Yap offering like the living services like the general restaurant information, but they focus everyone. They may not only focus on international students. So they didn't they try to target every users around the world, but they now has a specifically. So I think this is my competitive advantage to compete with all these key players in the market because I have a clearly targeting users. I have a great potential market growth number, and I have four clearly directions to offering all the tips. So, and I think this international students is become a blue seas to compete with the existing marketing for the general users. The international students is a great power to influence the United States right now. No matter that they will graduate here, they're working here. So basically, they have such a great power to influences the each market marketer. For the key risks, I define the first is the demand from the targeting audience. So I know there's a great number about data shows right now. It's 7 millions will be in 2025. But how many of them really need the tips? Sometimes, maybe I would say, among the international students, a lot of them has thanks for the advanced technology, they share the information through other ways. They may uh, cross the I would say they may use other way to gather information. So I'm concerned about the demand from the targeting users. This number could be see from my interviews with the 20 students here. Like South Korea doesn't have the problem like China. They don't have the government policy, so they can use Facebook. So this is not a big deal for them to share the information through Facebook. Um, so I would say each country have different situations. So I'm considered the demand could be one of the great risk to me to launch the applications and the quality of tips. So this is a big concern for me because if I want them to sharing the tips through my platform, so I have to consider what's the good or what's the positive or what's the negative about the tips they're sharing. So I'm thinking about I have to build very seriously um, checking system to make sure all the tips students shares have the great qualities. So that's means I have to build a tons a lot of works. So I think that could be a great concern for me to apply this to set up these applications. For the single function reinforcement, right now I have four clearly directions, and each of them I set up I'll talking about in the second part of uh, in the rest part of my conceptual model build, but I would say there's directly competitors to me to challenge my application, but there's a lot of single function competitors, such as Craigslist, such as a lot of service app. They're charging me from the single functions. So I try to build a competitor to take advantage, use the four directions I gather from the students are interested in. But I would say I have to reinforcement to make sure every function has a fully development. And how the rest of the three risks are the most concern, which I'm thinking is directly linked to my applications, is how to keep private users, how to attract new membership, and the function development. For me, my application stay in the stage one because I think most of the users could be or will be use my applications are the students who will come to study in the US or who are existing study in the US for several months or at most the maximum could be 1 year. So they could use my applications to help them adjust the life to to pass the process. But how to keep them use it? They may leave using my applications because there's no such great tips. They have already knows everything about the city, the environmental, the things they need. So they're probably not gonna use my application anymore after they adjust the life here. So I have to think. I have to figure out how to keep my applications become more fresh to give to leave some new things for them to continue use it. And how to attract my membership, I just think I just do the two promotion ways, but I still need to catch more people's attentions. So how could dealing with to attract more people using my applications? Um, for the function development, I cannot stay only four directions all the way to the end. So I've started to think about to add some new things to the tips, so to better serve for the international students adopt into the US. So the Grace potential become a perfect idea. I'm thinking I could dealing with the part of the risk. The first is advanced technology. Thanks for the artificial intelligence, because I would adjust the artificial intelligence. Maybe I cannot use right now, but I think in the future it will be how me really achieve my goals to use it in the legal tips sections. Um, because I'm when I running the project, I talked with one of my I interviews with one of my friend who are major in legal in the business law in University of Denver. Um, she will graduate in the year and become the lawyer. She's told me you cannot directly set up the online people by people talking services for students. That's not illegal because they have to pay to doing the services, or otherwise you have to be in a non-profit organizations. So I mean, so there's no way I can set up the one-on-one legal assistant for the international students. So I'm thinking maybe I can doing the artificial intelligence in the future. It means the artificial intelligence robot so legal assistant. I set up or I program every legal elements or legal law enforcement things into the artificial intelligence robots. They can help the international students answer the international students directly with the questions they ask. The second is the language translate. For right now, I only focus on build the English version for fit international students' needs, but I would say I would could be a bonus point or extra point for me to develop a language translator in different versions. So it means if you are Chinese students, you want to read Chinese version, and automatically you can choose the Chinese version you like. And if you are Indian students, you want to read the Indian version, so it will translate to your Indian. So that's a great way to attract more non-English speakers. Even they not come to the US to study, they may want to know some things about the American happen, so the interesting topic they are interested in. So they probably use the applications become with the non-English speakers, and it's not hard to achieve. But I suggest for the international students who come to the US, continue to use the English versions because I think practical English is a better way to help you adapt into the US. So, um, and the marketing development, just as I said, talking a few words before, like right now I only focus based on the US market, but I would say there's a great number in the Asia and the European market. So a lot of Americans or a lot of other international students will travel to Asia or travel to Europe to study there. So that could indicate a large pie for me to only send in the US market to develop global collaborations. If I launch in different countries, uh, actually I launched in different countries, but only focus on the US. But if there's a great potential, such a great potential abilities for my applications to stand to attract a large amount users around the world. For the function development, I think one thing I want to add in the future is the job hunting. Um, why I love, why I like, or why I come up with ideas to add a job hunting functions instead of I add like the restaurant search or other shopping search things on into my app, because I will say the students concerned much more about is their career, their business career. So they need to find a job, no matter they are students or they graduate. So job is also is a topic students will interested to attract them to continue with my application, I think, because they could I could collaborate with the schools to find to list some part-time job for the international students, so students can through my application to finding all the titles they need. And I don't want to compete with the LinkedIn, so I probably send the full-time jobs only set up for the international students' needs. Like the corporation has the ability to give international students to promote them to stay in the US legally, to offering the internship or to offering the full-time job for them. Um, and one more things I will say I will do is a reverse side. This means some international students will graduate in the US, but when they graduate, they may now stay in the US. They may try to go back to their home country to find a job, but there's not a great way they connect with each others. So I want to allow them like their home countries collaborations or home countries to business to put the job title on my applications to help them connect with the international students who study in the US or who study in the foreign countries. So I try to build a bridge for them to connect each others to find a job, to help them when they finish their graduate studies or their undergraduate studies to find a job in their home countries. Even they are in the US, they can better prepare for these things. And right now I'm talking about a design conceptual model about the smart tips. So it will say this is the smart tips, the first page, and it just pop out and it will lead you to the first page about the register page or the login page. If you are the own membership, you use your school mail, your school ID to write here. You can choose and you write it and put your keyword here and you can log in it. And you are new membership, you will come to register it and you will type the information here, some like general information, your name, gender, school, nations, and you can update. And you will say there are three things under the button. Which one is the home page, the profile page? Profile page is basically this one, and there's a friends chatting page. The friends chatting page, if you click it, it will lead you to the friends searching sections. You will fill out some basic information about you're interested in. So and because you have already updated your personal account information, so it will automatically show some informations here. So you see the green button here. If you click it, it will be automatically add the friends to you, and when they accept, you can start to talk. And you see there's a social media icon here. The social media icons is give you opportunities to share the interesting tips you see from each sections to sharing through your social media platform. And you can sharing with your friends. Maybe they don't have the app, but you can through the social media platform to introduce the app, the tips from my app. And I give the authority about not only in the US social medias, like the Chinese social medias, so you could use it no matter which country you are from. And the general tips is the first section I'm talking about. This is the when you register or when you enter tap your password and account informations, it will lead you to the home, the navigations part, the four directions, the general, living, culture, and legal. For the general tips, basically is this, and if you clean it, it will pops out, but it only pops out, so it will shows you to the to the home page about general tips. So you can see the each tips are already set up by myself, and if you want to add new, it means you want to add new more general tips, you can click add new, and it will lead you to the sections which you could write the things you are interested in based your experience, or some things you think is more interesting here, and you can upload you are allowed to upload pictures you take, and if you click the sections you are interested in, it will pops you to the tips informations, the details. You'll see what the information is about, and you can see there's a red icon. It means you can add more feedback about the posters. So you click it, it will shows you it will give you it will give you opportunities to leave your feedback about the tips. And the another things I added to the smart tips is more interesting is like give you them to like the bonus or the bad things. The bonus is like you like the tips, you click it, and if you don't like, you just click it the icon here. It will shows how many people love this and how many people dislike it. And one more thing I want to talk about for the each sections is the navigation bar setup. You can see the navigation bar is on the left top of the corner. If you click it, it will automatically change to the red color, and it will pops out to the sections here. Uh, it will shows the home page. If you click the home page, it will lead you to the section choose page, so you can choose to whatever sections you want to go. And this is the previous page button, and this is the next page button. Uh, and you say the add new is automatically invisible. If you scroll down a little bit for the sections, you will see more, and the add new will disappear. But if you put your finger here, the add new button will shows up, and you can add new things. The living tips separately to compare with the existing website or apps. The offering for the international students permanent hunter, but I think the homestay is a big opportunity for international students to find a better place to stay. So I communicate with a lot of my friends. They choose to study in the homestay, especially for Boston, since their living expenses too much, so they choose to a homestay to include everything. So for the homestay and apartment, you can type things like the date you wanna start rent and search, and the roommate number, location, price. For the apartment, just change a little bit for the room number. You probably rent a single or one bedroom studio or two bedroom or share bedrooms. So this is different about the section setup, and you will it will if you search, it will automatically give you some advanced here. And this is a place for if you didn't set up, the first things is give you the local owner, the property owners to pay me to put on their advertisement on this page. And you click the pictures, it will lead you about the details. First, I would say the homestays. Homestay details is about the rental and just some general information about the house. But something interesting is leave the owner and the save. If you click the save, it will automatically save to your profile page, so you can check every time you want. You maybe you not rent right now, but you are interested. You can save it to check later. You see the owner. If you click it, is comes up the name. It shows the profile about the name, the pictures, their phone number, and the email. If you click the phone, it automatically call them. And if you click the mailbox, it will only connect to your email to set up to allow you to send the emails to the owner. And for the apartment, you click the pictures, it will show the pictures, especially small videos sometimes. And you see you scroll down, and if you scroll down for the homestays, you also can see these things is the smart tips. You click the smart tips, you will find things here. It's called positive and negative. It because I figure out there's a big problem or disadvantage for the services app such as Yap offering for their customers is the fake information. Like you could some business owner using the fake information to attract customers. So I have the bad experience about that. So I usually think about how could I dealing with to make sure every users are the current. So I leaving the special tip sections is for the private users for this apartment or current user for the apartment. So they could leave their feedback no matter positive or negative, but you must the current users. So I have the authority to check the the students identity to make sure they are the users, because I have connections between the owner of the property. So if the users not they are not the current users or private users, I will delete by the system automatically. The message will delete automatically by the system. But if you are the current users, you could leave your positive or negative opinion about the living situations. And if you click the positive or negative, it will show the 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 text box, and you can type the feedback by yourself. The current tips, or the culture tips, sorry, the culture tips. Um, First is two sections of festival and customer. This is like the interesting part of my applications. Is I when I doing the research, I find students want to better know the city they live in. They used to now familiar with from their festivals or some customer or some culture things. So I figure out there's two things I want to add to my applications. First is festival. Festival, you could say there's a series of pictures. You can see some festival, some interesting things here. And you could say I leave the search box here. You can type the city for some state, for some county, or for some state. So maybe they have the special festivals for the month and the name you are interested in. You can just go, and it will lead you to the things. The avenue is just like the coach, the general tip things. You can add some your thought about some festivals through the avenue tips here. And you could say if you pick up one, you just click the picture. The pictures will lead you to the details about the festivals. You could see the posters, and you can through the posters to check out the posters other post. And you could also add become the friends with the posters, and it will lead you to the friends search sections. If you don't want it, you just close it and use through the navigation bars go back to the previous page. Uh, for the most important feature of my application is the legal tips. Just like I mentioned before, the legal tips could be the greatest competitive advantage to compete with other same service apps, because I think I interviewed the 20 students replying they meet a lot of like the legal problems they have to deal with, like how to dealing with the a car accident in the U.S., how to dealing with the insurances issues they treat in the U.S. hospital. So everything they do not quite understand is related to the legal tips sections. So first, they have a different four directions: working, general, financial, and traffic. Actually, the general sections is linking to the general tips. So you may clean it about the same things, but you may ask some questions. The general tips will answer you. For the traffic, if you clean the traffic, for example, if you clean the traffic, they add new things. Also here you can ask some questions here about you are interested in or you made to face challenges and leave it here, and the system will answer your questions laterally when you post in one day, and you could say the questions I already set up is asked by others, so you could say how for instance, for these questions, you click it through this red crossing button, and it will show the general ideas which the system post, or so it will simply answer you. Maybe you are not specific questions. You could say that get you some ideas from this previous upload answers, and you could see the ask. The ask things is interesting. Is I post this from the thanks for the artificial intelligence. This is the robot answering online system. But you could through this talk about specific questions which you concerned. You see the red and the green box on the left for the each pictures. It means the different levels. The green levels means high. The red level means lower. So if you want just some simple questions, you could choose the lower level. And if you pick up the green boxes, could the upper levels robot. Through this, and you can start to talking with the robot. You can see that there's some general ideas he gives to you, and if you want more, you just start talking. It will lead you to the friends talking sections. You can start to talk with your personal answers by answer to personal questions by answering by the artificial intelligence robot. Basically, this is my thesis. Um, my whole thesis project, I would say some functions or features are not achieved clearly right now, especially for the artificial intelligence or other some like a language transfer. But I would say international students is market is a great opportunity for me to target because I belongs to this target group, familiar with this target group, and I have such amazing experience with the problems international students meet in the US. So I would say my project has a clearly version and mission and definition to better serve the international students to study in the US. So, and this is the things I want to address and help for the international students. So thanks for watching my presentations. Uh, Thank you.